Hello and welcome to Red Flags. We're your hosts, Dave, Opie, and Al, and we're going to discuss. We're discussing The Exorcism from 2024.
Holy shit!
What?
I'm so upset that everybody hates this movie so much.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I found it kind of like everybody else.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Yep. So did you look in?
My attention.
Did you look in any of the reviews?
Nope.
No.
That's fair.
That's how I roll, Al.
I know. I like it. Okay, so that's Dave over there who doesn't watch reviews, and then I'm Al, and that's Opie who did the intro.
Yep. I watch a lot of reviews and watch a lot of horror content all day.
He watches only horror content, so that's how you know. It's shocking when he doesn't. It's shocking when you hear that he watched a movie that's not a horror movie.
Maddie and I binged all the Shrek movies this last week.
I don't even believe you.
It's true.
What's up with the gingerbread man?
You never really find out, maybe? I don't know.
I'm looking for a quote.
You're not going to get it out of me.
Did he get his leg bit off?
No. The gingerbread man?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen any of them.
Well, we're off the tracks already.
You tried to do a voice, but it was all right. Okay, so this movie was way different than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
100%. When Dave started because he had like 3 movies, he was like, "Which one should we pick?"
I will say, yeah.
And
we watched 3
we all
trailers.
kind of figured that one looked the best out of the other ones.
I half-assed it. I saw that trailer, and then I went out for a cigarette. And
well, we watched.
I know you
the
guys
other ones,
did.
and they all looked pretty poor.
Yeah, this one looked based on the trailer.
This was the shiniest turd.
Yeah.
Well, I remember like when we came in before we started the movie, Opie was like, "What was that A24? The great A24 one. What was that one?" But you were about to call it shit.
Yeah, I already forgot.
I blocked that.
Hey, talking to the microphone.
I forgot what movie that was, but it looked like it sucked. I heard it sucked, and that's what I try to avoid with A24 is because it has a reputation for being up its own ass. And so if I think there's a movie from A24 that's going to be up its own ass, I'll just avoid that and stick to the good ones.
That one was. I remember the other one was that girl running through the woods and those monsters like to watch them.
Oh, that's right.
That's the only other one I remember.
Yeah.
That one looked okay.
I think it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie,
yes.
maybe. So...
Well, in the trailer, it shows like the idea of this actor who's going to be trying out for the film, which I guess they're not allowed to say that it's The Exorcist, but you know it is. Like, you know that it's
based on something like
that. Yeah, like throughout this movie, because I was sucked in from the idea. I love movies about making movies. I love meta shit. You already have me.
Well, that a lot of those movies were well known for bad accidents happening when they make those kind of movies.
Yeah, I was going to get to that too, because I actually have it written on my hand, Cursed Films, because as I was working today, I was like taking notes, and like, I don't know if you noticed when I came in for my lunch, I grabbed the notebook and I jotted some stuff down and then left. But I also wrote on my hand Cursed Films, because that's a huge topic that I'd want to get into at some point, is just talking about all these cursed films like The Exorcist and The Omen and, whatever the other ones are.
I've seen most of them, so I mean, we could do
Well, I'm not saying
one in between that's just a special about talking about that.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
We can easily do a good hour on that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, just talking about cursed films, not necessarily one in particular, but all of them. And
The Crow,
and The Crow is considered one of them too. Yeah. If you,
there's actually a link from this film to The Crow. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
That one of the scenes, they didn't use it in the movie, but
did somebody get shot?
No, they filmed it in the studio where they were filming that scene in The Crow where he got shot.
Oh.
So it was filmed in the same location.
Okay.
Ooh, but they didn't use that footage. So
Interesting. But yeah, so like what I thought this movie was gonna be was I thought it was gonna be about an exorcist who comes in to work on Hollywood films in general, and that the movie was gonna be like a remake of The Exorcist, which it was, but I thought the movie was gonna be about an exorcist who like exercises film sets, like Rachel Stavis,
yes.
who is a real life Hollywood exorcist.
So you would have liked it if it was more about that than the direction.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna.
Was,
Is that terminology technically correct?
What?
She's a demonologist, but I don't know if you can use the term exorcist technically. I don't know if that really applies fully, though. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it. But
This is her book that I have, Sister of Darkness, and it's Chronicles of a Modern Exorcist. And so that's why I used the term exorcist. But she's a very interesting person, and yeah, so she's like, I'm not against you saying like that, but it's just
I was just curious.
Yeah, she calls herself an exorcist. I mean, I guess other people call her an exorcist as well.
I feel like you don't even have to be a Catholic priest or something to be an exorcist. If you perform some sort of exorcism,
If it works, it
you're
works.
an exorcist.
If it works, it
And
works.
in this film, the exorcism was just name dropping saints. If you go back, they're just like Saint Peter. You remember you were making fun of
and
it?
I was like, St. Mary's.
Yeah.
And then he was
So-
like, St. Mary's. And I
Yeah.
was like, Jesus, St. Luke's.
So I don't know.
I was just naming hospitals, really, is what I was doing.
And as far in this lore, you don't have to be a super Catholic priest to name drop some saints and get rid of a demon.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they were using for their script for an exorcism, but
Yeah.
I haven't quite heard it like that.
No, it was stupid.
But yeah, so I really thought that that's what it was going to be. What I thought was pretty cool, though, you should know this, but what is a very huge link that this movie had with the original Exorcist?
It was directed by the son of
Father-
Jason Miller, who played Father Karras
Yeah.
in the original.
Yeah, which was really cool. And what else did he direct? Apparently people love it, but I've never seen this movie.
Final Girls?
Yes.
Which I might pick
Never even
out
heard of it.
because, like he said, lots of people like that. And based on this fucking movie, this guy I'm not impressed. He just made, like, somebody threw him he built a beautiful plate and then he put just a generic cake on top of it. So the
Okay,
first
no.
setup of the movie is good with the movie inside of a movie.
Well,
But
even the
there's
point where he started becoming, having the possession, all the way up through that point was good.
yeah.
It just, when it started progressing, got
Here's the thing,
a
though,
little
Dave.
confusing.
He should know this, but you don't know this. This movie. Okay, so first of all, I remember when you guys hit play, and I was like, "Wait, Russell Crowe? Is this a sequel to The Pope's Exorcist?" And you guys are like, "No, it's not even the same thing." And so like all the reviews I'm seeing, like there's 50-50 of people who know what happened, and 50% of people are just like, "Man, why the fuck would they do this? Why would they put out another Exorcist movie with Russell Crowe if it has nothing to do with the thing? And why so soon?" It's because it was a money grab.
Yeah.
It was a money grab because this was originally filmed in 2019. So then COVID happened and it shut everything down. And then it got shelved. And then it got picked back up when The Pope's Exorcist came out and did so well. They're like, "Oh, we have a Russell Crowe Exorcist movie." So then they tried to like...
So this was actually filmed before that one then.
Yes, it was. Also, you were saying that you liked most of the movie except for the end, because the end was tacked on.
The last quarter of the movie, I'd say.
Yep, the end was I think
basically the window scene. From then, pretty much on.
I think that's
it
like
lost me.
I don't know. The writing was bad, yes, but there were so many good ideas in this movie. The acting was amazing. Like, I don't have a problem with any of it. All the actors and everyone that I watched, like, the reviews on were like, why is Sam Worthington even in this movie?
What do you mean? What's so fucking special about Sam Worthington?
He's been in a few things, and he's an up-and-coming guy. And actually, I shouldn't say that. I think he was in Avatar.
Also, that point of this was 5 years ago. So where was he at 5 years ago?
Avatar.
Oh, well, I don't know. Hey, it's Russell Crowe. Ryan Simpkins is good.
Niles.
Chloe Bailey, Adam Goldberg, Niles, yeah, David Hyde Pierce. There's a lot of really good actors.
There's a lot of really good actors. And it was, I think that girl, the daughter, I think she was in Fear Street.
Yes, which is also some stuff that I probably might move into watching with us.
I wanted to do that too, actually.
Because I hear good things about that too. And it looks fucking cool. Every time I see it on Shudder, I'm like, oh man, I want to watch that because it looks fucking cool. There's a skeleton guy.
Isn't that like cool, based off of the books from R.L. Stein?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the old Goosebumps guy.
Oh, I guess I don't know. Cool, man.
But, yeah, so the movie was hobbled together and rushed at the, like they did some pickup scenes. There's like storylines that were like, why don't we go with this? But then they added another thing, and then they added another thing, and more problems and more problems. It was a lot of good ideas jam-packed into too small of a package. Too many cooks in the kitchen fucked it up.
Yep. I would say there was a bunch of ideas, and they booped each one on the nose, and that's all the attention each one of those got.
Yeah.
They should have the idea that he's an actor. He's kind of had a drug issue or a drunk alcohol issue, and his wife just passed away.
It drove his daughter away.
It drove his daughter away.
So you got that idea of him struggling with that.
They never have a bonding moment to make you feel like you should cheer for them to bond.
No, I'm already cheering for them to bond because you can see they're trying on both sides. You can see they're trying. You
but
can
there's
see
too many scars.
You can see that he feels like a shitty father, but he's doing his best to rebuild himself, and he's given up the drinking or whatever, and he's also back to acting, and he gets his daughter to come back, and you can see that she's hesitant, but
really
she's trusting, she's trying.
Back. She got expelled from school.
Yeah, but
so she was kind of forced back.
She could have went anywhere. I don't know
what. But they're just booping that on the nose because there's emphasize that with a scene where they get along and you see a glimpse, like not the whole time, but she knocks over a cup and he catches it right before, and they share a look of like, oh, just give me that. Otherwise, it was like a cold. I didn't like it.
All right,
I didn't like the relationship.
So that's fair because they the movie didn't have enough of anything. So a lot of this I'm just piecing together in my own brain. But then you're also trying to. So you got that. You got a dad and a daughter conflict, and that's just one layer. You got the alcoholism. You got the trying to get back into the acting. You got, which also brings in the whole what happened in his past with this priest situation.
Which they boop on the nose. You have to assume that he was.
He's using his hand as a.
Well,
you have to presume that he was diddled
about the general situation.
But you have to assume because it's a priest.
You could definitely tell the priest is forcing something down his throat. Some liquid, if it's wine or whatever he was doing. They show that over and over and over again.
That's true, but...
And then putting the stuff on his forehead and...
Yeah. That's weird. could walk away
didn't
from
really
that
look
thinking
like
it was
wine,
like.
though. It looked more like blood.
Yeah, I walked away almost thinking it could have been like some satanic shit.
That's kind of what I was
like
thinking.
Well, I thought maybe it was going to turn out because they never show much of anything. And I was like, wait a minute, the twist is going to be that he was the priest and it was just him, 20 years ago or whatever, instead of him as a child. I thought he was going to be the priest doing bad things.
See, that would have been an interesting twist, but they didn't.
See, that was another thing that they could have done, but they didn't do anything with.
Nope.
And I know that everybody's been complaining about well, how come he jumped out a window and then what happened? How did he survive that? Whatever. Right? There's that.
That's from that point is when the movie kind of lost me. I liked the moments where he was just standing there staring at the wall, or when he was in the basement, all of a sudden, poof, he's right there in front of her.
Yeah.
Stuff like that I liked it. I liked how they did that. But, like I said, once he jumped out of the window, the movie just crashed for me. The rest of it was just...
See, I liked some of it because I loved the way that it was a movie about a movie. I loved but there was so much more they could have done with that also. Mm-hmm. I loved seeing the soundstage. I loved seeing the house that was chopped in half and the different layers and the railings on it. I liked seeing how they film things. I liked seeing all the behind the camera stuff. I liked that they showed the cold room, the refrigerated room, for just that scene when the exorcism is supposed to happen. Because that was how they did the original movie. They had a cold stage for that.
See, this is all just set up for me for a good film.
It's just so many good things that they didn't do anything with.
No. It literally is from a good source. It's from the kid of the priest from the original movie,
and he tried so fucking hard. I bet this isn't what he wanted. I'm thinking studios took over and were like, we gotta pump this out. We gotta pump this out.
Blowhards in the suits. They always
money.
It's like 50.
There's a couple podcasts that I listened to where they were talking about movies being made, and that they started working on one and ended up just quitting. Telling him to shove it because there was too many of the guys, producers, for example, people where the money was coming from would come in and be like, no, I want you to do it this way.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're, especially in a comedy movie, let the comedian roll.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the movies with Jim Carrey, for example, those were all just ad-libbed.
Yeah.
There's tons of them where they just let him go, and there's no script for that. There's a generalized script, but they just let him say whatever he wants to say, and it works really well.
I was talking about the movie or the show Tires the other day with you, and that's another thing. They had their script, but the director would be like, all right, you guys got anything else? And so then they would just bounce off each other, and then they would keep what works.
Yep.
But not everyone works that way.
Well, when you got an up-and-comer, too, like Gillis, I mean, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's really entertaining.
See, I bet he has no idea what we're talking about because he doesn't watch it because there's nobody dying in it.
No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking
Comedian
about.
Shane Gillis.
It's a TV show on Netflix called Tires, where the guy works in a tire shop. See, I think you'd like it.
Okay.
It's entertaining. It's pretty funny. I liked it.
It's definitely worth a watch. Now, that goes back to my point. All these fucking reviews I watched, everybody hated it, and the highest rating I saw was a 3.
I believe it because this is a mediocre thing, and if you're talking to critics about it, they're going to be critical, and this movie did fucking nothing. The only thing that I thought was cool that this movie did was that scene where Chloe Bailey is in her possessed makeup, and it's a movie inside a movie, and they break because Russel Crowe is having a hard time or whatever.
Like he's gagging.
Yeah, and while she's in the demon makeup, she is comforting and really kind, and there's that juxtaposition of the makeup. I've never seen that before, being really concerned.
Well, yeah,
she steps out of the role to check.
I think it was great because she was the only fucking person who gave a shit. Nobody else gave him the fucking time of day. He went, okay.
Especially the director. He was an asshole.
Well, I think, that was the character choice, but still, like, he's obviously going through something. I think that the director was like, the character was his job to, like, try to pull that, what am I trying to think of? Pull the
character out of it, all the emotions.
He wants.
The reason why he wanted him to act in that position was because of what happened to him in his life.
Yeah.
He wanted him to be himself, a damaged ex-alcoholic that ruined his own life. That's what he wanted to come out, and he kept telling him that the whole time in a pretty cruel way.
Yeah, and it does kind of go with the thing with, here's another great idea that the movie was toying with, was that they could have made this just about, like, the demons, the possession could have been in his head, and it was just him fighting his own demons, quote unquote, quote fingers. You know what I mean? Fighting his own demons. So it could have just been more of a psychological movie. And, like, nobody else saw the demons or the exorcist shit except for him going through it himself. But, like,
almost like a split personality.
Because, like, it seems like they wanted to do that because every time he would freak out,
I think that would have made that a lot better.
If he would have been just freaking out, like, but no, they show him, like, breaking his back backwards,
the black eyes,
and then, like, he's teleporting, and he's going from the basement to the top of the stairs, and, like, the daughter's just like, "Are you on your meds?" Like, you didn't just fucking see that, right? So, like if it would have showed, like, him, like, because it showed him teleporting up there, and that could have been in his mind.
Though, I bet a lot of people that you explain, even like our stuff that we've seen, like shit in the sky, weird stuff that we're pretty close to, and we saw it with our own eyes. But you tell somebody that, and no, you're cuckoo pants. You must have been on something.
Yeah, but the difference is...
But I'm just saying, though, there are people that will absolutely deny the fact that that could even exist. So even if she saw that with her own eyes, she could be one of those people where it's like, okay, well, obviously he's off his meds, because that can't happen.
That can't be the case with this movie, because they explicitly
during
point out that
scenes, when he was going up and she asked about the meds.
I know, but...
Just because I have met several people that I've talked to, and
they don't believe shit. They don't...
Absolutely not.
They're walking around eyes closed. I get it.
Yeah.
But in this movie, they specifically point out, and they make a line to it where they reference the reason that they have a priest on there. He's blessing one of the actors because there's cursed movie sets. So the movie acknowledges that there are cursed movie sets, and then you also think that is going to lead into more of this. So those people in the movie already believe that there are demons or evil or curses to be exorcised. Hence the reason they have the priest over there blessing the one actress.
That was Sage. That was
Sage.
Chloe Bailey using the Sage.
It was Sage, yes. Yeah, she was getting saged. You're right.
And she had that choice. She wanted that done.
You are correct. It was Sage. He wasn't doing a hand cross over her face thing.
Nope.
He wasn't doing weird things. But, yeah, I thought it was... There's just so many good things that could have happened in this movie that they almost did, that they didn't do it. And I hate the fact that I am forced to acknowledge these things, because I watched the movie and I liked it.
Do you want to talk about the ending? The ending is something we could kind of...
That is definitely something that I want to touch on.
Let's hear what Dave thinks.
Yeah, Dave, what's up?
The ending specifically.
Fucking sucked.
What happens now? It's essentially
the priest. So the priest goes in there.
Which one?
The actual priest.
So
David Hyde Pierce?
Not the actor.
David Hyde Pierce, Niles.
Yeah,
Niles from Frasier.
Yep. the older priest goes in there basically to try to exercise or do whatever he's going to do, sets all that stuff up, puts on the garment junk and everything, and goes to walk in there, and then basically gets stuck.
Okay, you
He's
kind of
just like-
skipped a part where the girl walked in there by herself.
That's after, because he goes in and that young black girl is there also, just sitting there in a chair.
Yeah, but
Like
you're
frozen.
skipping the fact that
Is this climax located inside of the cold room?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So she walked in there
Which
by
makes-
herself. There was nobody in there, and then she like turns around and her dad's there, being a demon, and then the camera turns around and both Niles and
Yeah, but he walked in there first. And then the only reason she went in there afterwards was because of the fact that he didn't come back.
I must have missed that then.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way,
Something like
they're in the
that.
fucking cold room,
Yeah.
and he starts hulking out.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe's hulking out.
Hang on, I got to do this. I can't not do this.
In the history of motion pictures, I am the only Academy Award winner who's ever been fucked in the neck by a tarantula.
That's Russell Crowe.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know
fact.
that? You didn't know Russell Crowe was fucked in the neck by a tarantula?
When did that happen?
I don't remember what movie it was, but he was talking about how he was working on a film and there was a trained spider that was supposed to crawl up his chest and then into his mouth,
Yeah.
but it stopped on his neck and then just started shaking. So like the animal trainer had to come up and like tickle it, and then it went bloop, bloop, right into his mouth.
What the fuck?
And so then he ended up like the next day he was all covered in a rash and he was itchy. And so he went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, so it turns out like when tarantulas get excited, their little furs on their legs fall off, and that got into your skin, and it so here's some medication, you'll be fine in a week. So then that's when he said he's the only Academy Award winner to have ever been fucked in the neck by a spider.
That's weird. Love that fun fact. Save that button for fun facts in each movie. If you can find weird.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan.
That's a weird
I
one.
do have another Russell Crowe moment from this movie, which we glossed right over.
Is it a lesbian scene?
It is indeed.
Let me just say, I thought that was kind of stupid. I didn't like it.
No, that actually upset me and really took me out of the movie, because that was another movie where another part where this movie fell on its face, is because at that moment you could tell that they were trying to be an Exorcist movie.
And say vulgar shit.
Yes.
That's what I gleaned from that too.
They 100% were just like,
You have to say
'Cause the
something
only other
horrible.
time vulgar stuff happened was the director to Russell Crowe.
It's right
And
there.
it wasn't like super, it was just life, what happened to him, and pushing, saying pretty evil shit to him to get him to act the way he wanted to.
yeah.
But yeah, that was about the only scene that, I don't know. I guess I didn't really care much about it because it was too try hard.
It definitely was way out of the whole flow of the movie.
Yeah.
It didn't mesh well.
It didn't belong. Why are you doing that?
100% is because, like when you think of The Exorcist, you think of your mother sucks cocks in hell,
Yeah.
right? And so they're like, well, we got to have the demon say something fucking weird.
Yeah. Which
So-
is ultimately my problem with this fucking movie, is because it's a cliche factory. It's just a Exorcist movie. There's
Oh my
nothing
God, you
special
sound like
about it.
every single review that I
That's
heard.
what the fuck it is. I even looked
You
up
sound
some...
like every single reviewer is just, oh my God, this movie was so boring. Oh my God,
Well,
it's just so cliche.
to help my argument, I will start naming off good Exorcism movies.
We don't need to. It's okay. So here,
The Exorcism
we don't
of
need-
Emily
we don't-
Rose.
We don't need to compare it to Exorcism movies because
Why?
because it.
It's what it is.
The only one that mattered was the first one. Everyone else is a tryhard, right?
No.
Nobody has
No.
been able to even come close to being what the first one was.
The
That is
Exorcism of
a
Emily
fact.
Rose.
That is not an Exorcist movie.
Yes, it is.
It is not in the same thing. when you look up Exorcist movies, that one not in the list. It is about an exorcism, yes,
But how is it not an Exorcist movie?
but it's not in the same canon.
What the fuck are you talking about? You mean like of The Exorcist?
Yes.
There's The Exorcist movies that aren't in the same canon as The Exorcist.
Yeah, exactly.
So what
you
are
have
these?
the first
They're
one.
exorcism
All the rest of
movies.
them are just attempts to try to recapture what that one did, and none of them has held up. So, okay, so that's the thing that bothers me.
That's another one.
I don't know if I've even seen that one, American Haunting. I think we have.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. It's a fantastic movie.
There's so many movies.
Did we watch that?
I think so,
Inside
probably.
The Possession. The Exorcism 3 was really good.
What about the McConaughey one?
What the hell's that?
I don't know. He's in everything, so I figured he was in one of these.
Stigmata. You ever seen that one?
I did see
Yeah.
that one.
That's a good one.
I saw that when
Good.
it first came out, and I don't remember anything about it.
Good film.
Is that?
It was all right.
Are you just naming movies about being possessed?
No, I'm naming good Exorcist movies. There's a fuck ton of movies. I'm only naming the good ones.
So you're
The
gonna be.
Taking of Deborah
So I'm
Hart-
guessing that you're gonna
Deborah
end this
Logan.
whole thing by being like, I give it a 1 out of 10, and nobody should watch this movie because
If Opie gives
because
this
I don't
anything anything below a 2, I'm gonna be surprised.
I'm giving
Because
it a
that
3.
because that means you like the Howling 2 better.
Which would be false.
Did you notice in the intro that I have the howling in? I put the howling in the intro.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the end.
I'm so lame I didn't even catch it.
Yeah, I put that in there intentionally because I knew you'd hate it. It was like, oh.
I did think I heard one that I thought was American Werewolf in London.
That's probably what you thought it was.
Okay.
Because
Which is a compliment for that film.
I have the Vincent Price laugh. I have the Vincent Price laugh. I have the spiders talking from ear to ear, right?
Yep.
And then I have just a generic witch cackle in there. Just
Yeah.
really quickly. Just and then the howling.
Sweet. And you can switch that up. That's
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be,
gonna. Don't you worry about it, boy.
that'll be fun.
But yeah, guess
Oh,
what?
We got a lot of room to play with it.
Is there anybody got like a favorite part of the movie or like a absolutely worst part of the movie?
The end.
We never even finished. I interrupted, but
Yeah, essentially it's the same fucking ending to all fucking exorcism movies. It's so disappointing. David Hyde Pierce is like, "Demon, take me." And so the demon takes him.
He's like, and when this happens, run.
Yeah. And then he gets stabbed in the head with a crucifix, which would be cool, but this is so dumb.
That's why I said that whole ending thing was dumb.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were an untrained person, an actor who couldn't even get those lines out in the movie, just all of a sudden just
you're saying like
land-
Russell Crowe's character
Yes.
in the movie Tony something. What was his
I don't
name?
remember his name. I don't remember names very
Tony
well.
Miller. Ooh, get the
because
connection.
Because they were throwing the whole Miller in there, because that's the director's name, and
Because
the
of
real
Jason
director.
Miller, yeah.
Because of Jason Miller, because of Joshua Jean Miller. I don't know
Yeah.
why I made him French.
He looks like a funny guy.
So I really thought it was funny that it was that you made the comment during the movie. It looks like Ben Margera's dad.
It did. He was wearing the gray sweater. Oh, he looked just like Phil.
He just looks just like Phil. And I can't argue with you on that one.
It makes me wonder what Phil's looking like today. You know?
Well, see, now I wonder because, like, I think that Russell Crowe was bigger in this movie than he was in The Pope's Exorcist,
Yes.
Yeah.
and so I wonder if people think that he gained weight for this role. But technically, this happened pre-COVID.
Maybe not. Maybe people aren't wondering a fucking thing about this movie because it had a budget of $22 million estimated and only made $7.8 million.
Do you know how many reviews I watched where the people were like, "Yeah, I was the only one in the theater, so I was able to yell and scream at the TV or whatever." I was like, ah.
I probably would do that if I was alone. Especially if it ended like it did, I'd be like, "This sucks." Throw my popcorn.
You're one of those.
Yeah, totally one of those. Especially if you're alone. Any other highlights or lowlights?
Yeah.
What?
This movie was like so
So
much
you
potential.
liked it.
So
Are you
much
going to
potential.
give this one?
I'm going a little higher because you know what? They fucking tried. Like the director, he made Final Girls. I haven't seen it, but I heard good things. And I know that this isn't what he wanted, but he put in the effort. Every single actor in this movie put in the effort. They tried. They did the damn thing. They worked hard. Every grip, every single person who worked on the behind the scenes, worked hard on what they did. They put in the effort. They wanted a good product.
This
I
movie
think
looked
the
good.
studio fucked it up.
I think this movie looked good. It sounded good. It looked like a professional movie.
Yes, the cinematography was great. The sound editing was pretty good. Like there were some parts where it was like they
that's
cranked
the
it up for
question.
like the effect, but
When this movie was birthed into an existence, somebody had an idea, right?
yeah.
And they wrote it down. What the fuck was your idea? Was it to
See, that's what we were
make a
talking
movie where
about.
it ends with the priest
I
taking
think
the
The
demon?
problem is the guys in the suits come in and wreck the movie. They're the ones that are like, "Wow, we don't want to do it. Do it this way."
This is 100% a prime example of that happening.
Yes.
Well, what was the original ending?
Well, most scripts that are actually written aren't even close to what you actually see in the final
I wouldn't
movie.
make a fucking movie. Like, this movie makes me want to make movies, and I wouldn't.
The only
fucking-
problem is your movie probably wouldn't get made the way you want to, because the guys, like I said, that have the money, that are giving you the money to do it, they are the ones that want to see.
They're
certain
going to come
things
in
the
and
movie.
change your side character's love interest into a
gay or some type of love affair instead, just to fit some kind of narrative that they have.
or they're going to be like, "Oh, I think she needs to be wearing a towel in this scene." And you're like, "But this is like a ski resort."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we need to see the titties.
Yeah, we need to have these two girls kiss, and have this guy talk about how he wants to eat his daughter's pussy. 'Cause
No, I'm
this
not.
is
Okay,
just
okay,
a
okay. I'm
movie.
not saying that part was changed in this movie. I'm not going to throw that out there.
But it could have been.
But you know what? Here, listen.
She's never gonna eat your pussy like
See, it's just generic.
It was not. That was we didn't need that in that movie. But
Nope.
that could just that. I think that what happened was there was a whole different idea and a whole different plan in 2019, and then COVID happened, fucked everything up. They shelved the movie, and then I think Russell Crowe made The Pope's Exorcist, and that came out and did really well. And so they were like, "Oh, yoink!" Grab that thing off the shelves, and then the producers or whoever fucking snatched that up was
Whoever
like, "We
owned
gotta
it.
hobble together this movie and shove it out because people are into Russell Crowe being a priest."
Yeah, there could have been a ton more scenes that they cut out or whatever they did for editing.
They did add a couple things afterwards, like all of the confessional stuff was added after.
Oh,
Okay.
was it?
Yeah, and that was filmed in a whole different country, and like one of the people was like, "I could have did that with my iPhone." I mean, sure, maybe, but that's not the point.
I'll give the director a C grade because I hear he's okay, and I'll buy your producer stuff, but it's still gonna get a 3 from me.
Yeah.
So there was one thing that I really hated that was the most egregious, and it was a jump scare where it was completely fake in that there was a noise sting. Somebody walked up behind somebody else, and the movie literally cut to a black screen with a tear across the film for one split second, and that was it. And there was a big sting and a big thing on the screen, and it was nothing. There was no
I don't remember
real
that.
scare. It was just a stupid jump scare because we had to have a jump scare.
I don't remember that at all.
No,
It was
I don't
that
remember
fucking forgettable.
Okay, so
God
honestly,
damn it.
this movie is pretty forgettable. But that's not. I don't think it's the fault of the actors, and I don't think it's the fault of the director. I think
or
it's,
the people that made it. You're right, like the sound design and all the.
I think everybody that worked on this movie during the original filming of it worked their asses off and had a different plan. And I think it got changed.
I think so too.
And I think that there was stuff that was cut out of it that we don't get to see that pieces things together.
Yep.
Or just didn't get the chance to get filmed. And yes, I understand that the movie that we have in front of us is not great. But there's so many good things
That could be added.
that it could have been. And of those things that could have been, maybe we can take a nugget and make a different thing. Maybe we can make a Rachel Stavis movie. Maybe we can make a movie about the psychological trauma that he went through, and maybe he's seeing these demons. And then it would intercut in between like his mind and the real world, so what we see. So like it'd be funny. Just give me a second for this one. It'd be really funny if in this movie we saw that scene. It's all dark, right? And she's talking to him and she's like, "Are you on your medication?" And then like he like teleported up to the top of the stairs and like slammed the door or whatever, right? And she's just like, weird, right? But then we see it from her perspective, where we see him down there just heavy breathing in the corner, and she's like, "Are you on your medication?" And then like the scene cuts to him. The lights are like a normal regular hallway, and then you see him just like scampering up the stairs. and then standing up at the top going and then slamming the door. I thought that, I don't know, my mind's broken, but but I thought that would be funny.
That would be good. That would be better than what the fuck we originally saw.
But yes, there could be different fun nuggets of things that could have stemmed from this movie. So this movie is not a waste. Although I do have a bad feeling that this movie could be the end of attempts for an Exorcist movie franchise. Like I think that people are going to be like, you know what?
You know, they're
We're
trying
done.
to do that right now.
That's the way that I got from all these reviews is like everyone's just like, "Oh my God, we're over it."
I think you can do it good if you just come up with a good. Like right now, how would you originally end an Exorcist movie? What could you do that's different? Obviously, somebody taking
Instead of the exorcism actually happening,
well,
why didn't
even
they
if
just
there
all
is.
die and then it just fades to black?
In The Exorcist 3, the studio stepped in and changed the ending to what they have, which is better than the original director's cut, which is this ending, okay? The guy is in the prison cell and is possessed his buddy, right? And so instead of a priest going in there and exorcising the dude, he just goes in and shoots him in the head, and the movie ends. And that's it.
Have you seen Fallen
Probably.
with Denzel?
I think so. Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
is on my side.
I don't remember it specifically.
So that's another like possession movie where there's like a demon that can possess people, but it can freely zip zop in and out of people.
That's right. Yeah.
And so that wouldn't work because it would just, you shoot the guy and then bloop, it comes out and then possesses somebody else. So
That's
like
true,
at the
but
end of the
it's-
movie Fallen, he had to go to a remote area because it could jump to another person, but it had to be within a certain distance. And so his plan was to go out into the middle of fucking nowhere where there's nobody it can jump to.
That's what I thought in the car for my ending.
Didn't we watch something similar to that?
That's Fallen, but I don't know if we watched anything for like this.
We watched something where what movie was that? Maybe it was it Smile, where they go off and
Try to be alone.
yeah, I remember in the
You know, there's a
cabin
Smile
or something
too,
like
right?
that. But wasn't
I
that
don't
remember? And then somebody
remember.
shows up there when they're trying to kill themselves there to get rid of it.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I just can't remember. And the person walks in, and it's like, "What are you doing, you idiot?"
Yeah.
Does
Stay
Smile
away.
count as a possession movie?
Does what?
Smile count?
Yes.
That's You've Got the Juice Now movie.
Oh, how many times did I say that?
Well, it's appropriate. The shoe fits. You know?
Yeah.
You got the juice now.
You got the juice now.
It's I don't know, because then there's that It Follows with the STD. Same
Did we
deal.
watch that? I don't think we watched that together.
I don't think we watched that.
But I did just watch a review on that too.
Nice.
And it is very interesting. I like the idea of it.
I believe I have it.
Yeah?
Yeah. What are your scores? I'm giving it a 3.
All right, Dave, what do you think?
Should have a drum roll.
Torn between 4.5 and 5.
Out of 5?
Fuck no.
I'm
Out
gonna
of
say
10.
5.
5 out of 5?
5 out of 10.
You gave it at a 5 out of 5?
No.
Jesus Christ.
Nah, we'll go 5. Pretty average.
Middling movie.
It probably would have gotten a little higher if they would have just done some. Like I said, how about the end where they go in there and he just kills them all and then just fades to black, and then you don't know what happened. Where's he gonna go? That would have been better.
I do like that. I do like the idea of the demon just winning.
Yeah. Well, I just watched a movie, where
And so
the
that
ending,
set
the
continues to
ending
be
was like
cursed.
that, where all of a sudden it's just like, wow, did not see the bad guy winning like that.
I mean, that does happen, but
I can't remember what movie it was.
I don't know.
It was about like an AI.
I don't know. I haven't seen many AI.
Megan.
Oh, so that's
We watched Megan.
It was some kind of an AI, and the whole point of the movie was the AI was actually running the whole company, and pre-planned for this guy to become quadriplegic stuff, blah blah blah, to put the chip in his head. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
can't think of what it's called, but then the ending is pretty shocking.
I talked about that too, and
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it either.
I don't remember it either. But it was a good movie. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, I
But
liked
I did
it.
not see that happening at the end.
Yeah,
They basically kill them all, and you just see them walking out.
yeah,
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. Different.
yeah. That was a good one. But yeah, so they could have done something like that. But I guess so I guess mine would be a 6 because I'm going more than Dave. Because I don't want this to make people give up.
That ending is what killed me. I didn't like it. Same thing with the Pope's Exorcist. That ending with all that crazy fire. I mean,
You don't think this is better
the
than
thing
him
that drives
scooting
me
off on a Vespa?
crazy with movies like this, and for example, the show like Supernatural, right?
Okay.
Same concept. They go against a demon or something on those lines, and this thing can literally levitate people, whip them against walls and everything, and then the final fight is them scrambling around, and they're getting a sword fight or some bullshit thing. It's like this thing could like break people's necks with a flick of a finger, and now you're battling him at the very end, and he's doing nothing of the sort, and then you manage to banish it. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
You gotta get something in there. Something. Who cares if it's a talisman that helps absorb the power, something like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I love Supernatural, but when that demon is whipping them all over the place, and then all of a sudden they come together at the end and just can destroy it, it's like, come on.
Sometimes you gotta let the bad guy win.
Well, not even that.
That's
Just
not-
come up with a better idea than, something.
Well, there's
gotta be a reason why
15
they can't do
seasons
that.
of Supernatural.
Oh yeah.
You can
Well, they
only
get a
do,
lot more badass at the end.
You
Anyway.
can only do so much.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm talking about like some of the beginning stuff, and
Yeah.
but I mean the same concept, where this thing is supposed to be so ancient and so powerful that the exorcisms don't even work on it, and stuff like that. And it's like, well, then how did you banish it down? Oh, you went in a special crypt, and now you can shove them in the hole.
You name dropped a bunch of saints.
Yeah. St. Jude.
Killed killed the demon.
Mark Anthony.
Stupid.
No, he fought back.
He did, but still.
He blew him. That whole exorcism thing did nothing. But what did do it is beating him up with a cross.
Yeah, stabbing him in the head with a cross.
Yeah.
With a crucifix. I don't know whose pick it is.
Yours.
Mine? I'm going to pick an older film, but I have no fucking idea what.
Because I kind of picked Al's movie he was going to pick, and then we just quickly scrambled for one kind of on that one to cover for, that one. So, I mean, technically we kind of flip-flopped. Like, Al's pick went before, and then something random,
Okay.
I just couldn't. I like to pick the newer movies just because it's, you guys pick some of the more classic or something that's cult following. And so I just kind of cover the new stuff if there's something newer, at least 2015-ish or newer.
Because if it were up to me, we'd be watching old movies all the fucking time.
Exactly. But that's kind of why I pick the way I pick, so that way there's just a ton of mix.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the best that we could talk about for The Exorcism. I tried really hard to talk it up because there's so much negativity with everybody that's seen this movie. And I get it. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest movie out there, but it's not.
And never seen an Exorcist movie, then sure, I guess you're watching an Exorcist movie.
But it was rated R. If they would have made it PG-13, maybe it would have been done a little better.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But
I really think if they would have just kept with the flow that they had prior to him getting kind of crazy in the whole bedroom scene thing, prior to any of that, it was actually decent. It was pretty good. And then, just like I said, once it started trying to pull from the Exorcist shit, the girls making out on the bed and then him coming in with the vulgar comments and all of, that's where it started to kind of lose me.
yeah.
If it would have been more subtle and vindictive, that would have been way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of places it could have went. But, I mean, it tried. It tried, and everyone tried, and, it wasn't the worst. It wasn't.
Do you think it would have done better if The Pope's Exorcist never came out and you just popped out this movie?
No.
No.
No, okay. I don't do that.
Pope's Exorcist was, I liked that one. That was good.
Honestly, I think The Pope's Exorcist helped this movie just because people are the people that were into it wanted to see more Russel Crowe.
That's fair. But if this one came out first and then The Pope's Exorcist came out, I think The Pope's Exorcist would have bombed because
I think it would have done a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But anyway, so what we got the ratings. We're gonna do another movie next time, and if anybody wants to let us know what they think of this movie, that'd be great too, because it has potential.
It had potential.
It had potential. It had potential. I just hope for good things, Well, you're just being a negative ass Nancy over there.
I'll be honest. I feel like I can't remember, but there's a movie recently that I had the same feeling about where it got bad reviews. And I kind of had that same view of it wasn't great, but people put a lot of hard work in. And,
I know.
Don't be super critical.
I know that, I'm just a random ass guy, and my opinion of this movie doesn't matter, right? But I'm trying to fight for these ones because when I was growing up, there was a movie that I thought was fucking amazing, and it just got ravaged. People, I think it was mostly critical, but apparently it just got the worst reviews. Do you know what movie I'm talking about, Dave?
Not off the top of my head.
The movie I'm talking about is one of my favorite movies to this day. Que bla goobla.
Oh, yeah, that got horrible reviews.
What the fuck are
And I
you
don't
talking
understand.
about?
Cable Guy.
Oh,
That got horrible. I thought it was great.
One of my favorite movies. I can quote that thing.
I thought it was funny.
And guess what? That's a movie about movies.
Hey, you fixed my lisp.
You filthy son of a bitch.
I don't know if I ever saw that one.
Oh my God, that's such a good
good.
movie. It's a good movie because he's just like.
But as far as like the critics and everybody else,
I feel
they
like
rate it like a 2.
it does have a touch of horror in it, though, doesn't it?
It
'Cause
does,
it's
it
a bit
does,
of
it
a stalker film.
does. And so, like, that's a movie that I loved and still do, and it just got everybody fucking hated it.
This
so,
isn't that, though. This is not.
This could be
Prime
somebody's
Jim
favorite
Carrey.
movie.
But no, who's gonna
This
like
could
this
be.
shit?
Oh, yeah.
Who, you don't
It
know.
could be.
You don't know. And so, even though I'm giving it a 6 and
There's
Dave's giving it
somebody
a
that
5,
probably absolutely loved The Howling 2.
probably.
It's possible, man. If you,
I've never met this motherfucker. That's for sure.
I'd love to meet this person because there's something wrong with their head.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Really into wolf fucking.
we got a good laugh out of it though.
So, yeah, we laughed.
Well, I
about
don't know. Opie probably wasn't laughing, but
Oh,
we were
yeah.
laughing at Opie.
It was funny to watch him almost run over and punch the CRT TV.
That was terrible.
I mean,
That's
he
a
was
bad-
beating his head on the table, and
so bad. That's our
It was
benchmark for
fantastic.
bad movies. Is The Howling.
I think
I
that
don't
one was
know.
by far the worst.
I don't know. I'll bet you that. What is that stupid one that we just watched?
Yeah, I gotta find that list because man, there was one we just watched that we all fucking just hated.
Saltburn.
That's the one.
No, I don't
That
think
one
we.
was
That's
I
on
don't
my-
think we-
terrible.
I don't think we ripped Saltburn because I think we all agreed that
It sucked.
it wasn't for us. But
No.
I
Yeah.
don't think we ripped it.
But a lot of
ripped it.
people
That's
were
fair.
obsessed with it for whatever the fuck reason. They're out of their mind.
Yeah.
It's
See,
freaky.
that movie did super great, and I
Yeah.
was not into it. So
No,
to circle
me
back
neither.
around, my opinion doesn't matter. It's up to you, people out there, to watch the movie. And so I'm gonna say this: watch it. I'm gonna recommend every movie be watched. Every single one should be watched by you, and it's up to you to determine whether you like it or not.
That's a ridiculous opinion.
All right, all
No,
right,
I
all
actually
right.
fully agree with that. I think everything should get a
No,
chance.
you don't get to say that, Captain.
wait.
Can't finish Sharknado.
Hey,
Yeah.
I tried to watch
There
it.
you go.
That's the difference.
That's true. You're proving my point.
Yeah, but you stopped.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it.
I will say I started Faces of Death this weekend, and that's a movie where I stopped it because I was like, I know halfway through.
But the
what this
difference
movie
is, I tried. I turned it on and I tried to
That's
watch it. I
also
just
fair.
got bored of it, and it just wasn't my thing.
All right, fine.
The difference is, I
You did try. You did try. I'll give you that.
I didn't just go, that movie looks stupid, so
And you just wait. You wait. We're gonna watch a movie soon enough, and you guys are gonna be like, "This shit sucks." I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
This one, you don't recommend this to anybody.
No, you
That's what you're saying. You're saying
cannot.
that The Exorcism.
If this movie never existed, nobody would fucking care.
I care.
Nobody would fucking care.
I care.
You wouldn't care.
I care.
You could just fanboy
Do you know
out
how
on the Pope's
excited I
Exorcist.
was? Okay, first of all,
You didn't know about this shit until last week when we were watching the fucking thing.
I know, but here's the thing. When I watched the trailer, I was so fucking excited. I was so excited for what it could have been. For what it could have been. And it fell. It fell flat on its face. And that's okay because they tried.
So what? Do you want him to get back up and try again?
I want John Miller to try again, yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Maybe. I don't know. I'd give him an okay because
I want Joshua John Miller to
Maybe
try
we'll
again.
watch
And I
Final
want...
if they tried to make this movie again and fix the problems with it, I'd watch it. I'd
if
try
they
it.
changed,
Are you saying for this particular movie or in their careers?
I give Joshua James Miller a C for his career. This one is a D. This
Yeah, but
movie
you have to
sucked.
watch Final Girls first before you can make that rating.
Why?
Because you said that you're judging it off of what
Other people have
what other
said
people
about
said about that movie because they love it, right?
Yeah.
And then you did not like this movie, so you just averaged an A and an F.
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
That you need to watch it so you can make sure that that's because like I want to watch Final Girls.
Should we watch Final Girls next week?
Is that your pick?
I guess. I don't know. Let me see if it's on Shudder.
But
It's not.
I also think that every actor in this movie should keep on going and not quit and not get discouraged because this movie didn't do well, because it's not their fault.
I will say it's weird that if you made a movie or acted in this fucking movie and then it works where some production company buys it, the rights to it, and they just stick it on a shelf. And you're like, man, that labor I did 5 years ago, there's no fruit. No fucking fruit.
I know.
That would suck.
So people are like, why is there 2 Russell Crowe Exorcist movies? It's because he did this 5 years ago. And then he was like, well, I guess that movie's not getting made. So somebody shoved the Pope's Exorcist in his face. And he was like, well, yeah. And then that movie gets done. And then whoever was like, oh shit, grabs the other one off the shelf, dusts it off, and says, let's make some money on this. Even though they didn't make money off of it, but that was their idea.
Yeah, trying to do a cash grab. I forgot what the fuck I was gonna Google.
You were Googling, I don't even know, Shudder for Final Girls.
Oh, that's right. I'm trying to find out where Final Girls is.
I mean, you can always get it on Vudu.
Probably.
I'm sorry, Fandango at Home.
I'm still calling it Voodoo because that's a stupid name.
Damn. It's on Amazon everywhere you go. Yeah,
Prime?
Fandango.
It's available?
Yeah,
Is it available on Prime to stream or purchase on Prime?
Purchase.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to watch Final Girls next
I don't know either, but you know what?
Well, if you want to watch it, like I said, we can get it. We can get pretty much anything.
I'm going to look into it. We don't really have like a theme we're going with, huh?
Not yet, but I do have ideas for themes.
I have some
Because
ideas.
we could go through all the Scream movies. We could go through the Fear Street movies.
And if we do that, we don't even have to necessarily be out here to do like the stretch of say like 5 movies. We'll just watch them on our own time throughout that week, and then, the following week just get together and talk about all of it as a lump sum.
Here's a question.
I'd rather do them one by one.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, but we don't have to we could yeah, I see what you're saying.
Prepared to jump the shark right off the bat. Would you guys ever be interested in watching like the most fucked up movies that are out there?
You're thinking of that goddamn
Serbian film?
Serbian film.
That's one of them.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
But that would be a theme because there's necromantic,
Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust. There's Faces of Death.
I've already seen that one. That one.
The Serbian
That was
film.
rancid.
Oh, the Cannibal Holocaust. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any of them, honestly.
You're not missing out on much in that one.
I gotta watch them because I think every movie deserves to be watched.
Well, if you like to see a
Why
spike,
are you laughing at
if
me?
you like-
Because no, I want to make you watch
Yeah, but
necromantic.
here's the thing: is
if you want to see a spiked log getting rammed up a woman's lower region repeatedly,
All the way up out of her mouth.
They
Yeah.
did that in Evil Dead.
not quite as graphic.
Not quite like they do in Cannibal Holocaust.
No.
Hey, but all right, you're open to it. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm
That's
open
cool.
to it. Of course, I'm open to it. I had to watch stupid ass.
And then there was portions of that movie
Human
when they
Centipede.
were with like the tribes or something like that, where it was legit. When they were killed, they killed something legit, and they took a lot of flack for that.
Yeah,
I don't remember. What did they
turtles and
kill?
Stuff. They killed a turtle.
A turtle. Yeah.
They killed a couple animals.
Wait, what was the movie where they killed the cow? Oh, I was thinking of Apocalypse Now.
In Faces of Death, though, that one was brutal because you remember. Have you ever seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
I've seen all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember them very well.
Do you remember the dinner scene where
Yeah.
they're eating a
Monkey Brains? Yeah.
That's a real thing. And I watched it. Thanks to Faces of Death.
Okay. Are you saying that in the Steven Spielberg production of
No,
Indiana
that's
Jones and the Temple of
probably
Doom?
Jello, which would be delicious. But in real life, monkey brains is a delicacy.
I believed it. I believe it.
Yeah,
I believed it
Not
then.
only that, but they are brutal.
There's
They
there's
stick
still
the little head up through the table, and they give each of the people a hammer.
There's
and
still
you kill the
tribes that
monkey.
are cannibalistic.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is just one scene.
There's still tribes that are cannibalistic. Like they'll if one of their elders died, yeah, they consume the whole body. They eat their dead.
And that's why
Yep. That's
we could go on we could. So does cannibalism count as a horror movie trope?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so does
There's
that?
actually an entire genre of Italian cannibal films.
What about like a real life documentary-ish style? Like because this really happened. Like the plane crash on the Andes.
Oh, I have no idea.
You're
what
thinking of
talking
like the whole Donner Party type.
Yes, but this is a different thing.
I know what
because
you're talking about.
there's another one called Green Inferno, which is essentially just a modern day cannibal holocaust.
I haven't
And
seen
that
Cannibal
one's
Holocaust, so I
very
don't know
brutal,
what
too.
that means.
grossness incarnate.
Bro, it's like the standard of brutal fucking movies. Like,
Yeah.
that's the one that.
It was pretty rough to go through. It was not my thing. I mean, like I said, I'll watch them. I don't need realism when it comes to stuff like that. That doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
So do you
mean-
think sometimes CGI is helpful because it takes you out of the...
It's all about escaping reality, the fantasy of like the movie. That's what draws me in. Like,
Is that why I would say your favorite genre of like horror, scary...
for example, when you get to stuff like Terrifier, where it looks fairly realistic, not a fan.
Okay.
I don't care about that.
I'm with you on that. That stuff leans into torture porn, and I'm with
Exactly.
you on that.
Yep.
That's not like my favorite.
I'm totally
Stuff.
fine with scenes where all of a sudden you see like somebody's gonna get their throat cut. You see the knife moving, and then it cuts away, and all you see is the blood go. I'm fine with that. You don't need to see stuff if it's done well.
That's fair. How do you feel about like Tom Savini shoving a thing through Kevin Bacon's throat in the original? Like, because it's sort of real, but you can. Are you like appreciating the practical effects, or does that count? Or
Yeah, I mean it's a lot more fake looking than.
Well, that was also 1980.
Yeah, I'm
Whatever.
just saying I don't need to see stuff that's obscenely real.
okay,
I get it. I'm with you.
because like Hostel,
Like
I'm
the
with you on
chicken
that.
sawn in half.
I've never seen a Hostel sequel because I don't fucking need to. I know.
I saw Hostel 2, and I was like, now I'm never going to Europe.
I've seen the first and the second. I don't know if there's any more past that, but I did it.
Saw. I think I have all the Saws. I've only seen the first one.
He's watched all of
I've
them.
watched all. I own all of them. I've seen all of them.
I've
See,
seen
that's a
most
little
of them, I think.
Different.
That is interesting because it's more creative than your typical
It's
like
not
Hostel.
about.
And there's more
it's
of a
not
story.
about the torture.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's about putting them in a predicament that they need to make it through to make them a better person. That's the whole concept of the games.
Yeah.
Even though later it becomes more blood sport because of the people that you get in charge. And then
Yeah.
John always has some kind of a fail safe that's going to kick in to correct those people too.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I own everything all the way up until Spiral.
Okay.
Yep, with Chris Rock.
He's in that?
I was super interested. I never saw that one, but I was super interested because
They're on Fandango, but Voodoo.
Fandango
I own
at
the whole
home.
collection from 1 all the way to
Really?
Spiral. Yep.
I'm always interested when like a different like an actor or somebody from a different genre comes in and tries to do horror. I always think that's intriguing to me.
Well, okay, the first Saw movie has Carrie Elves in it, and he was the guy in Princess Bride, so...
I don't remember the first one very well.
Well, he was the first... Yeah.
He's a doctor.
And I also think of him in Liar
yeah.
Liar.
Okay, I remember. He's not in just the first one.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's.
A recurring.
You'll have to watch
Isn't
it.
there a Wahlberg in one of them too?
I'm not sure.
Isn't Donnie Wahlberg?
I know
in-
who you're talking about.
Yes.
That doctor. He's the one that in the beginning he's kind of framed for it because they find his pen light and everything.
Yeah.
There's a
He's
lot
the guy from Princess
more,
Bride.
There's a lot more to him throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
So he
Oh,
comes
yeah.
back.
See, that's yeah.
So
That's the
we've
blurry part of the line between torture porn and regular.
I just don't want to give
good
too much
films.
away because
you
if you
need to
wanna
work on
watch
your mic
it-
handling skills. My Lanta.
This is the first time I've really had to.
You were bopping that thing around and you're turning your head and you gotta get used to that thing. But so we've been talking for like
We
an
should-
hour and 10 minutes. So how do we
should
want to
move
shut this down?
yours to like that corner or something where your cactus is. Drill the hole and just put that plate.
We could figure something out like that. Yeah.
Because I mean, at least then it comes this way, so then you're not having to
I
fight
could
it.
do a whole pivot around the other way with the chair, but I can figure something else. I'm like,
I think that works better.
I could work something out
Yeah, that's all right.
because this ain't too bad.
Well, I've got hole saws. We can just put a hole right there and put you have that adapter, that cup that goes in.
I also thought about putting it up on top of there, but
Yeah,
we've been
it's quite-
talking
that's
for-
quite a reach too.
we've been talking for an hour and 10 minutes. So how do you want to shut this thing down?
I would just, say until next week.
Until next week,
This will be red flags.
this will be red flags.
This will be red flags.
This will be red flags. We could get real annoying real fast.
We could. All right. Till next week. We'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.